Hello everyone, hope you are all well. Today we have got two classes. In the first class we will discuss about grammar, question tags and models, and in the second one reading, what a strange place to live. So the learning outcomes of these two topics are: practice what question tags are and how are they formed, identify the use of the question tags, make sentences using the grammar rule about deduction, complete exercises using question tags and model verbs, read and comprehend the text, and the last one, complete exercises using the vocabulary learned. So let's have a look at the new words. So deduction, hamantsim, supposim, must, can't, mustn't, can, have to, might, don't have to, should, and should are all modal verbs. So let's go on with chimney or jug. Nature, natuur. Upside down, ik stuur me kokpost. Cone, koninke. Car, gdand. Cave, spel. Kasse, rahatsme. Courtyard, kopers, bache. Fairy tale, ral. And treetop, nemaitapings. So to begin with the new lesson, I will ask you about question tags. We have discussed shortly in the previous year, so they may be familiar to you. So then I'll ask students about the modal verbs. Even these verbs we have discussed many times during the year. When we go to the reading part, you will have a look at the picture and guess what is the text about, and list some weird places where people live, so something strange that you have heard. So let's go on with the grammar part, question tags. So what are question tags? Question tags are short questions at the end of a statement. But we use question tags in speech in order to confirm or to find out if something is true or not. A positive statement takes a negative question tag, and a negative statement takes a positive question tag. The structure of question tags. So in the positive question tag, so if the sentence is positive, we have got subject plus the verb plus noun. Then the question tag is formed by the negative part of the verb and the subject pronoun. In a negative question tag we have got the subject, the verb in its negative form, and the noun. Then the question tag is formed by the positive part of the verb and the subject pronoun. So we said verb and verb in negative form, but which are the verbs that we use to form question tags? As verbs, we may use the verb to be, so in present and in past. Auxiliary verbs, do, does in present or did in past, and all the modal verbs. So something about intonation. When we are sure for the answer, the voice goes down in the question tag. When we are not sure for the answer and we want to check information, the voice goes up in the question tag. Pra që t'i kthehemi edhe një herë në shqip, format pyetse janë përgjigje të shkurtra në fund të fjalisë. Pra dhe një herë për format pyetse, question tags, janë forma pyetse që vendosen në fund të fjalisë. Format pyetse përdorur për të konfirmuar se për të zbuluar nëse ajo çfarë neve kemi thënë është e vërtetë. Në një fjali ku folja është pozitive, forma pyetse është negative dhe anasjellës në fjalia folja në fjali ka formë negative, atëherë në formën pyetse merr formë pozitive. Tek struktura kemi kryefjalën plus foljen, e cila ndiqet nga emri, dhe më pas kemi folja në formën e saj negative dhe pastaj përemri. Në formën negative, po ashtu është e kundër, pra kemi kryefjalën folje në formën negative plus emrin dhe kemi më pas në formën pyetëse foljen e flash në formën pozitive dhe më pas kemi përemrin. Ne thamë folje që mund të përdorim, duhet përmendur që forma foljet janë sigurisht folja to be në të dyja kohet me gjitha format e saj, pra në të tashmen am, is, are dhe në të shkuarën was ose were. Foljet ndihmëse ose gjysmëndihmëse do, does në të tashmen ose did në të shkuarën, dhe foljet modale. Tek intonacioni duhet përmendur që kur neve jemi të sigurt për përgjigjen, atëherë zëri tek forma pyetëse ulet, ndërsa kur neve nuk jemi të sigurt për përgjigjen ose duam të marrim informacion, atëherë zëri me intonacionin ngrihet. So let's go on with relative pronouns, primary pronoun. Relative pronouns who, which, whose, and that introduce the relative clauses. For people we use who and that, for animals and objects we use which and that, and for possession we use whose. The use of relative pronouns, we use who and that instead of subject pronouns, I, you, he, she, we, you, and they, to refer to people. So let's have a look. I met a girl, she's Albanian. I met a girl who or that is from Albania. As you can see, we have replaced the subject pronoun she with the relative pronoun who or that. We use which and that instead of subject pronouns to refer to the first one, to objects. So he was watching a film, it was very funny. He was watching a film which was very funny. As you can see, we have replaced the subject pronoun it with the relative pronoun which. And the second one for animals. Crocodiles are reptiles, they can run very fast. Crocodiles are reptiles which or that can run very fast. As you can see, we have replaced the subject pronoun they with the relative pronouns which or that. And the last use, we use whose instead of possessive adjectives. My, your, his, her, its, our, your, and their, to refer to people, objects, or animals in order to show possession. So let's have an example. That's Mr. Clark, his son is a doctor. And that's Mr. Clark, whose son is a doctor. So we have replaced the possessive adjective his with the relative pronoun whose. So let's go on with the modal verbs. First of all, we'll discuss about making deductions. Must and can't are used for making a logical deduction. Must is used when I am sure or certain that something is real or true, and can't is used when I am sure or certain that something isn't real or isn't true. So let's go on with the modal verbs. We use must and mustn't to express obligation or duty. You must wear the seat belt. So this one is an obligation. To give strong advices, you must be polite to your teachers. And to express prohibition, you mustn't drive a car without a driving license. So as you can see, this one is not allowed or it's forbidden. We use should and shouldn't to give advice. You should drink plenty of water when it is very hot, so I advise you to do like this. We use have and don't have to express like obligation. They have to be at the national they have to be at the station at 10:30, so they have to be there if they want to go to the park. Or necessity, you don't have to work on weekends, so you are not obligated to work. As a third person singular, have transforms into has, and don't have to transforms into doesn't have to. Could, can, could, may, and might. We use can, could, or may and might to express possibility. It can get extremely hot in the summer. It is possible, so this one, it is possible that in the summer it may be very hot. And she's talking to some children. She could or she might be a teacher. It is possible to be a teacher as she's talking to some children. So reading skills 8C. What a strange place to live. You will listen to the reading part. Then as a homework you will read and translate the text and record yourself and send it to my private number.
Skills 8C. Exercise 1, page 98. What a strange place to live. The fairy chimneys of Göreme, Turkey. How would you feel about living in a rock, just like prehistoric people did? Believe it or not, that's exactly where some people in Cappadocia in Turkey live. Over millions of years, nature created rocks in the area that look like upside-down ice cream cones. Centuries ago, people carved caves in these rocks to make homes. Today, people visit the area to admire one of the strangest landscapes in the world. Some say that it is like the surface of the moon. The locals enjoy living in the fairy chimneys, as they call them, because they are cool in the hot summers and warm in the cold winters. The caves are very cozy. They have small rooms with fireplaces and courtyards where people can relax and chat together. This really is a fairy tale place. The tree houses of the Korowai people, Indonesia. Imagine living high up among the treetops. This is where most of the Korowai people of Papua, Indonesia live. Their tree houses are as high up as 50 meters. They are made of wood and have a thatched roof. To get to their homes, the Korowai people climb up a very long piece of wood. They live there to be safe from floods and wild animals. After nightfall, they chat and tell stories before going to sleep.
So after you will read and listen and read to these two short texts, you will answer to the questions in exercise number 2. So let's go on with the exercise on page number 99. Exercise number 3. Which place would you like to live and stay for 2 nights? So you will have the opportunity, if you have the opportunity, to choose one of these 2 strange places. Exercise number 4. Write as many words as you can think of related to the homes under each of the headings below. Use the words to describe your home. So you can list as many words as possible. For example, material, what kind of material do we use to build our houses? What type of buildings or homes do we have? Flat, private house, etc. Special features, adjective, appliances, furniture, and rooms. Now let's go on with exercise number 5. You will listen to 3 teens talking about their homes, who lives in a houseboat, a flat, or a cottage.
Exercise 5A, page 99.
My name is Karen. I'm 14 years old and I live with my parents and my sister in a lovely little house in the countryside. Our stone cottage is very old, but it is cozy, with a big fireplace in the living room. The house only has 2 bedrooms. I don't mind sharing it with my sister because we get on very well. Our garden is very pretty too. It has cherry trees and lots of lovely roses.
Hi, I'm Simon and I'm 15 years old. Last year, me and my parents moved out of our flat and now we live on the River Thames in a houseboat. It's a little cramped, but I still prefer it to our old flat. It's got 2 small bedrooms and a large living area with a kitchen. In the summer, it's nice to sit on the deck and watch all the river traffic.
Hello, my name is Peter. I'm 15 years old and I live in a large building in the city. I live there with my parents and my sister. Our home is quite big, so I'm lucky enough to have my own room. We've got 3 bedrooms, a spacious living room, a kitchen dining room, and a balcony full of plants and flowers. I like living here because we are on the top floor and we have a wonderful view of the city.
So that was all about listening in exercise number 5. After that you will complete exercise number 6 of yourself. So reading 8C, the workbook. So you will go on with exercise number 1. You will read the article and mark the sentences true, false, or doesn't say after you have read it. And then you will go on with exercise number 2, read again and answer to the questions. Then you will go on with the next page, exercise number 3 and 4, and then you will listen to exercise number 5 and number 6.
Module 8, 8C, Exercise 5, page 65. Hi Sam, did you finish your project?
Almost. You're my last person. I have to find out everyone's favourite place in town.
Oh, that must have been interesting. What did you find out?
Well, Gary likes to go out to the cinema. He likes going to the one next to the department store on Main Street because it is big and has a good choice of films.
What about Tracy?
She surprised me. Her favourite place is home.
Really? Why?
She lives on the top floor of that new skyscraper, and she says the view is amazing. She can see the entire city.
That would be interesting. I would love to see that. Who else did you talk to?
Well, James spends his time in the square across from the school. He goes skateboarding there all the time. So that brings me back to you. Where do you like to hang out?
I spend all of my free time shopping at the mall. What about you?
I go to the park by the lake. It is my favourite place to go jogging and play football.
Of course. I should have known that.
Now let's go on with the listening part in exercise number 6.
Dictation, Exercise 6, page 65.
Bristol is a cosmopolitan city in the southwest of England. It is Britain's 10th largest city with a population of 380,000. Bristol used to be an important port city with a famous harbour. Now It's a fantastic mixture of the old and new. You will love the city's great shopping malls, art galleries, and museums, as well as its lively nightlife. You can also take a boat cruise along the River Avon. Last but not least, Bristol has about 450 parks and green spaces and a short distance from the countryside. If you want to escape the hustle and bustle of the city,
So that was the end of the dictation. So now homeworks. As homework, you will have to complete exercise in the grammar section on page 96 and 97 on student book and pages 62 and 63 on workbook. Also, you will complete exercise number 7 and on page number 99, and you will send it to me by email. So thank you for listening and have a nice time.